Your teacher is going to give you a sheet of paper. At the end of this, the point is to fold this up for easy cleanup. This video will also explain cleanup, so please do watch it to the end. You will be responsible for following the directions as provided. You're going to need to start by getting some colors, and we are going to start by getting yellow. And we are going to put these not at the top of our paper, but right in the center. And the amount of yellow that I want you to get is like the size of a quarter, like the coin. Once you're done getting yellow, you're going to get blue or whatever mixer your classroom has. So for me, my mixer is a turquoise, and we'll explain mixers in a second. And you're going to get about a nickel worth of paint. And then after your turquoise, making sure that they don't touch, you are going to get magenta, or in my case it's magenta, whatever your red mixer is. And again, you're trying to get about the size of a nickel. Once you have your paint, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to mix our yellow-orange. So we keep these colors pure because this is where we're going to reach from, and we pull off to the side. So we scoop up yellow and plop her down, and then the trick is to grab the smallest quantity of the red we can, and we are going to mix until we get to a yellow-orange. If for some reason you got too orange, you can scoop in some more yellow, but it's really hard to go lighter. So it's harder to get close to yellow than it is to get close to orange. Once you have it all mixed, to actually paint, we're gonna pull this off to the side. Oh, so sorry for the bad video there. Whew. Okay, you're then going to go to your yellow-orange section, and when you paint, you are going to scoop up the paint like a spoon. So I've got a ledge of paint sitting there. My hand is down on the metal. I have the section that I want to paint faced away from me. I'm going to go right up to the edge of the line, and then I'm going to pull towards myself. Then I'm not going to try and go away from myself like this. Instead, I'm going to flip my paper, grab some more paint. You can see why I shouldn't have used Sharpie, but then it's showing up in the video. Pull down and towards myself. Rotate it around, scoop up more paint. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that students make when they're painting is, one, they have their hand too far away, and two, they're not using enough paint. So if you run out, you're gonna have to mix more. But don't sit here and pull it as thin as you can, because that you won't then get clean, consistent color. Once you get this whole section painted, and I'm not following my rules. Look at me paint away from myself, and I'm not doing a very good job because of it. Then I'm gonna go on to the orange section. At this point, when I go back to my palette, I take what I have, I can mix right in that same spot. Scoop up a bunch of yellow. This time I scoop up just a little bit more red, but notice how little of red or magenta, in my case, whatever your mixer is. Now I did this on top, so I can see what I had before. I'm kind of very carefully not combining them. So I've got what I had. To get to orange, I'm now gonna scoop in just a little bit more. And I'm gonna keep adding small amounts of that red until I can see a distinct difference in between what I had for my yellow-orange and what I'm making for my orange. This is what we are looking for. You'll notice that the yellow-orange, orange, red-orange, and red are all distinctly different, and the colors slowly evolve and transform from one into the next. As far as the paint quality is concerned, this is also what we're looking for, staying inside the confines of the space. I'm not a huge advocate or believer in the need to stay in the lines, but it's a choice to go outside of the lines, not a lack of skill. Your color wheel will be your color palette is used as a reference where you can clearly see them change and you spread down as you mixed. And then when you get to the red paint, some of you, if you're like me, actually have a separate red different from the mixer color. So for example, I was mixing with magenta over the red paint. Another thing that students need to know how to do is how to clean their brush. Your teacher will have a cup of some sort. The trick is to swirl your brush, not stab the bottom of the cup, and then tap the sides. But that is not enough. Besides the fact we don't want to get water in our paint because it will dilute the paint. So instead, your teacher will have you grab a rag or a paper towel and you will pull the brush through the paper towel until no more color is coming out of the brush. That's a sign that you're ready to move on. Feel free to fast forward through the video if you need, or to pause. I'm going to continue on around the wheel. Next, going to the red violet. So this time, I put that into a triangle on purpose. So I'm scooping up magenta, I'm scooping up a little turquoise, mixing them together. This should not be violet, it should look like a reddish violet. So I have that color there. I would fill it in completely within this space. Once I was done with that, I would just continue on around the circle. The greens obviously are going to segment on this side in between your blue or your blue mixer and the yellow. The next part of this video will show you a done wheel so that you can use it as a guide. All right, here is a done wheel. Mine is in the different stages of drying. You'll notice that my red violet, violet, and blue violet are a little hard for you to see on this example, so potentially your teacher does have an example color wheel for you to look at. The colors you'll notice are clean. If for some reason you goober or screw up one of the colors, all you have to do is wait, give it a minute or two to dry, and then after that you can go on over the top. When it is time for cleanup, your teacher will have a specific place where this is stored. And then your teacher might have you store this paper as well to save for when you move on to your tint, tone, or shade. Otherwise, they will ask you to first fold it in half and then in half again before putting it in the trash can. Brushes do get cleaned at your spot. You've already been shown how to swirl the brush in the water, tap it on the sides, and then dry it off. Once it is clean, it will get stored wherever you are directed to. Your cups of water will need to be dumped out, and then your teacher is probably going to be saving these cups for the next time. Do put a little bit of water in them so that they're completely rinsed out. The next video teaches you how to make tints, which is taking a color or a hue, your hue, and adding it plus white.